Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ashley, and I just want to say sorry for my absence because there's something wrong with my computer, so I wasn't able to upload anything. But I'm here now, and I actually have a topic to talk about, and that's been itching at me. Like, I need to talk about it, like, it's getting to me. So basically, I just want to say that, with today's industry, rap industry, how it is now, we can go into that and how crappy music is, but I already made a video like that. So I already gave you guys that movie, so I'm not going to give you guys that movie again. But what I want to talk about is how disrespectful these new artists are. These new rap artists are. I just find them so disrespectful. Like, I feel like as soon as they come in, they want to try to compete with the big dogs. They want to, I have a lot to say about this. So I'm just going to go in like topic, to topic from topic, But so I'm just gonna lay out everything that I want to talk about first, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Number one, how they come in. Yeah, basically they want to compete with the big dogs and be disrespectful. Two, they're just not humble. Three, they think that just because they're like one album in and they have a couple of hot singles that they're some king or queen. No, you need to take little baby steps. Okay, let's not get into that yet. But I'm just trying to lay out everything first. Um, and it's crazy. I just feel like and I feel like ever since a certain person started, like this, a certain veteran, I feel like ever since, I'm just going to give the gender of the person I'm talking about, I think ever since she did it, everybody's following her, and they're starting this new trend of disrespecting legends slash icons slash veterans in the industry. So let me go on now to actually go into it. So topic one on this whole, new artist disrespecting legends. Um, yeah, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was I noticed how they come in, and actually Nas. Shouts out to Nas. He's my favorite MC. He said how he notices how when new artists come in, how they just want to compete with the big dogs. They never come in humble. They always have to come in starting some type of trouble, some type of mess. I don't want to quote him, but he's like, basically, just be humble. Like, he says that, he notices how they just come in and they're not humble. As soon as they come in, they want to start some mess, and they want to, just, I think, to get recognition or something. I don't know. He says something along those lines. And I totally agree with him. Like, in today's day and age in hip-hop, I can't even call it hip-hop anymore because it's a total mess, a hot pop, auto-tune garbage mess. So let's not even get into that because that will take a whole nother video to fucking talk about. But I just feel like with today's artists, they come in, and exactly what Nas said, I've been saying, I've noticed how every time a new artist come in, they always have to fucking try to compete with a fucking legend. Sit your dumb ass down. Being disrespectful, to the people. How I see it is, I find it hella fucking corny. It's stupid. You're dissing somebody who paved the way for you, broke down barriers for you, just so that you can be doing what you're doing today. It sounds cliche, but it's true. These people who came before them, they did certain things that people would find crazy today. Like, if they didn't do it, probably what these people are doing today, people would ridicule them for it. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the last thing that they should be is disrespectful, because these people did things, and they got that they got criticized for and all that, just to make it okay for you to do it today. Like, say for instance, this whole, I don't care what it is, like, just from a dress code, the way you dress, the way you like the way you flow, or whatever it is. I just feel like today the new trend is disrespect everybody who paved the way for me. I think it's not even disrespectful. I find it disgusting, because my whole the motto that I live by, like, well, for the industry, the rap industry, whatever, is, and just in life, period, never bite the hand that don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't do it. I don't know if I said it properly, but you know the saying, like, don't bite the hand or whatever who spoon fed you, or whatever the freaking saying is. But I think it's true. It's like, you know, that person basically baby fed you. They spoon fed you. they gave you life. They mothered you, they fathered you, or whatever. Why are you coming in disrespectful as if they didn't do anything for your career? I just find it stupid. Just come in, and I'm not saying for you to be like, oh, to kiss their ass or whatever, but, and even if you feel some type of way towards them, keep it to yourself. Don't, be making tracks and having everyone turn against them all because they're not making music no more or whatever. Because, today's generation, how it is, they're so quick to call you irrelevant just because you're not making music. No, it's called you're a legend and you're a veteran and you bowed out gracefully and you're just not making music anymore. It doesn't mean that you're irrelevant, because we all know that you did something great for hip hop and you just bowed out. Who cares? Like, you're not making music anymore because you choose not to, and it's just a different time, and whatever, you bowed out. Who cares? How are they irrelevant? If they were irrelevant in their time of making music, they would have been flops. They weren't. They gave us classics and classic albums and all that, and they just bowed out gracefully. What's wrong with that? Like, I just can't with these new artists today, and they come in, they're making diss tracks about veterans and calling them old and washed up and all this. It's so crazy. Like, aren't they allowed to age? Like, are they not allowed to age? Are they not allowed to, fucking age? Like, I don't know what else to say. I just find that it's so stupid. Like, my whole thing is just come in humble. Just come in, just be humble. That's the only advice that I can give them. If you're a new artist, or if you're an artist on the come up who is thinking of disrespecting an artist, a veteran, specifically, my whole thing is just come in humble, because my whole thing is that I feel like, because they make a couple of hot tracks and they're like 2 albums in, they feel like they're some god or something. How about you try lasting 10 plus years in the industry, because that's unheard of. A lot of people don't even make it 10 years and still have respect. So don't think that just because, you're hot at the moment and you have your fans to back you, this young ass dumb crowd to back you, don't feel like you're somebody. My whole thing is just be humble, because you don't know how far you're going to make it. You don't know how long you're going to last in the industry, especially especially with today's industry, like of rap. Like, I find that it's going to be harder for them to last like 10 plus years, because they're just not, number one, they're not giving classic material. They're just whipping up some damn auto-tune and catchy beats and getting corny ass people to collaborate in hopes of them selling. But my whole thing is just be humble, and just stop biting the hands of the person who fed you. I just feel like it's so disrespectful, and especially the younger crowd of today's in today's day in hip hop. I think that they're soaking it all in, and they're just taking whatever crap these new artists are giving them. It's like, and I feel like when a new artist comes in disrespecting a legend, especially because hip hop how it is today, they have the younger generation, like the younger crowd looking now. So I feel like they're setting a bad example. If you're coming in disrespecting a legend, you're gonna have these kids that don't even know about shit about hip hop. They're just gonna look at what you're saying and they're gonna go along with it without even knowing the artist that you're talking about. They didn't even hear one song from that artist. They don't even know the history, what trends they started. They didn't even listen to one damn freaking album. Yet if you're saying, oh yeah, they're old and they're washed and they're this and they're that, they're just gonna go along with what you're saying without even knowing the artist, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's true. You're setting a bad example. If they were to come in humble and say, yo, this person paved the way for me, probably the young crowd that's looking up to you, they will say, yo, let me actually go and look that artist up and get to know them, so they can have some type of knowledge about hip-hop or something and where things started, and you have to school them. I just feel like with these artists today, they're coming in, I think because they want everybody to forget about the past and forget about what people have did for them. I feel like they're saying, hey kids, you know what, screw them, and I'm the new thing, and I'm not going to teach you about them. Like, I know I learned a lot from, say, Nas is my favorite MC. I learned a lot about him. He shouted out a lot of rappers who came before him that I never knew a lot about. But then after he said them, he said their names, and he said what they did for him in his career, growing up and listening to them, I said, yo, shit, yo, I didn't even look at it like that. Yo, let me go and search up this artist. And then that artist became like my favorite damn artist, and I learned a lot. And I think that's the problem too. A lot of these young kids, they don't try to go back and look and do some history before they say, oh, this person's the best. Like, how can you say somebody's the best when you don't even know half the history of hip-hop or none of it? So that's why I'm saying it's kind of stupid that these new artists are coming in, because I feel like they're setting a bad example, and they're starting this trend of, okay, disrespect people who paved the way. I don't like it, and it's getting annoying to me, and I see that it's a trend. It's an ongoing trend, and people keep doing it. Why are you disrespecting somebody who paved the way for you? Be humble. How can you do that? How can you disrespect somebody who did so much for the game, so much for you? Like, I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. And what's the other thing that I wanted to talk about? So I covered up being humble. I said, artists come in and they think, they try to compete with the big shots. What else? Oh yeah, the other thing. I feel like when the veterans, like, see legends, whenever they strike back, say if a newbie comes in and they're disrespecting them all through their come up, until now, and they keep busting shots, and they just keep going, and then finally that veteran says, okay, I had enough, and that veteran, that legend, whatever you want to call them, they make a diss track. Then all the blogs, all these young ass fans start saying, oh, he or she is old, and they're just doing it to get recognized, and this and that. What? So is that person supposed to take it? That's why I feel like a lot of these legends, like, I feel like they're pussies. Like, a lot of them, they don't stand up for themselves. Like, when a young artist busts shots at them, because they feel like if I bust shots, people are going to look at me as bitter, old, and irrelevant, and you're just trying to get back in the game. Because that's what a lot of people are ignorant. They look at it like that, instead of saying, okay, yeah, this person who, this person is so disrespectful. They don't look at it like that. They don't look at it as a person being disrespectful. They just look at it as something okay because they're hot at the moment, so it's okay for them to bust shots at somebody who fucking opened lanes for them, And especially because these new artists, they're smart. They know that they have the young generation in the palm of their hand. They know that they don't know fucking jack squat about hip-hop and the history and all that. So they feel like when they come in, they can just disrespect people and have the young crowds co-sign them. And that's why I feel like these legends, a lot of them, they don't stand up for themselves, and they don't try to say anything. A lot of them, and it's not about being mature and saying, okay, I'm better than that, because a lot of them, yeah, they say that. But some of these artists, they don't put up with it. I noticed some of them, they stepped up and they said, hey, don't disrespect me. But I noticed when they did it, when they did stick up for themselves, just defending themselves, they got attacked. You have blogs saying, oh, is she just doing this to become relevant again? Oh, is he just doing this because blah, blah, blah? No, they're doing it because that person's being disrespectful. I don't like how whenever a legend is sticking up for themselves, they get called a hater, or they get called old, or whatever. Like, it's so stupid. Why aren't they allowed to defend themselves? And that's why I feel like a lot of them, they make it slide, they let it slide, but and then you have people say, okay, why aren't you defending yourself? But the minute they defend themselves, the whole young crowd comes at them, oh, they're old and they're just doing it for attention and they want to come back in the industry. What? All I'm going to say, I think this young, and that's why I don't like being a part of the young generation, because I feel like people might look at me and they might think that my MP3 is full of garbage when it's not. Because the one thing about me, even though I didn't grow up in that era of good music, I still educate myself on the history, and I make sure that I know my stuff before I even go on to say, oh, this person's better, or this is how this goes. If you don't know, educate yourself. And I think that's what a lot of kids aren't doing. They are too lazy, especially when they hear a conscious rapper. They are so, like, they just go deaf. Like, they don't want to hear what the person's saying, but they love the catchy beats. As soon as they hear a catchy beat and some catchy ass words, then they jump on it. The minute somebody has something important to say, they're deaf to it. They're just deaf. They don't I think that they're not patient when they hear a record with a message. They're not patient enough to listen to it and listen to the words. They get bored because they feel like, okay, oh my god, this is so boring. This is not what I'm used to. And you can't blame them, because this generation, all these artists are giving them are catchy beats and all this dumb stuff that's what they're immune to. That's what they're used to. Like back then, our moms and dads and whatever, they grew up with good music. That's what they're used to. Who knows if they grew up in this generation? Probably they'd be dumb as half of these dumbass kids that don't even know shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like you can't really blame them for not knowing, because it's just what they grew up listening to, you know. So like, whereas I bet if all of these kids were to grow up back then in our parents' generation, probably they wouldn't be so ignorant and blind to real music. But it's just the generation that they grew up in. So you know. But I feel like that's no excuse. I feel like even if you grew up in, you know, this generation of rap music, I feel like you should at least go back and do your history before you go saying so and so's the better rapper and so is this, and like, you know, I just feel like it's so stupid. I feel like it's all dumb, and I don't know. I can go in for fucking hours, for days, like, I don't know. And when making this video, I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible, because I don't want to say artist's name and have their fans attack me. But the one person who I notice who is mad disrespectful, and like I said earlier in the video, like this, when I said, oh, I think this person started the trend to be disrespectful, I think that person is, no offense to her fans, but I just feel like Nicki Minaj, she is so disrespectful. And I feel like the way how people are treating Kim, how they're saying how she's bitter, and like the other day she must have at a press conference, because her new album came out, she must have been like something along the lines like, oh, she respects Queen Latifah because she bowed out, and you know, she's like, oh, like, I don't want to like quote her, but she said something along these lines like, oh, she respects Queen Latifah because she bowed out and she didn't choose to stay in the industry, and that and how she, like, basically what she's trying to say is like how she respects Queen Latifah for bowing out because she made room for new artists to come in. But what she's really trying to say, and then she went on to saying, oh, she would rather be compared to a so-and-so rather than a washed artist. And we all know who she's talking about, Lil Kim, because, you know, she always talks about her. She always disses her. My prime example of how disrespectful these people are. So she thought she was slick. Like, she's trying to use Queen Latifah as an example, saying, okay, she's glad she bowed out because unlike Lil Kim, Queen Latifah decided to bow out, and because she was getting old. Like, number one, Lil Kim's not even that old. She's not even near 40 years old yet. I think she's about in her mid-30s, but she's not even close to touching 40. So, and my message to Nicki, being that you're almost 30 years old, and we all know you lied your age, you're not 27, you're 29 years old, and it showed on the freaking police transcript when you got hit in the face with the suitcase or however it went. But everybody knows that you're 29, and you'll be 30 this year, so before you go talking about old artists and whatever, I just think that you need to look in the mirror and, you know, just admit that you're insecure and you are disrespectful. I really feel like that. I feel like she is very disrespectful. I feel like she's insecure and she's somehow, some way threatened by Kim. Because if you weren't, why do you keep mentioning her in every damn song you do? Why do you keep disrespecting her every chance you get, calling her old and stuff like that? You know, well, without that old washed artist named Lil Kim, yeah, I'm just quoting her, what she says, no, you know, because I fucking love Kim, you know. I feel like, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I'm just being sarcastic. Without that old washed up lady Kim, you wouldn't be anywhere. You wouldn't be anywhere today. So why disrespect her? And especially when you came up off her style, you know, you came up, you know, and she's a prime example of someone coming up, dissing people, you know, and then because, of course, now she's popular, people are going to side her rather than Kim. Because, oh, yeah, Kim's just the old washed up artist, right? Yeah, who wants to believe her, what any of what she's saying? But the truth is, Nicki's disrespectful. She continues to bust shots every damn minute. And the reason why I'm using her, too, is because she's a very popular person at the moment. And people are so blind to see that she is disrespectful. You know, I'm not saying for you to choose sides. I don't care. I can care less about the beef. But I'm just saying, I noticed that she started the trend as soon as, right after she started that trend of being disrespectful, everybody started doing it. They started dissing legends, started going off about, you know, about, oh, this person's old and, you know, this person's irrelevant. And then the young crowd, they just started picking it up too. Every time when an artist comes out with a song, they're like, oh my god, ew, she's so irrelevant, ew, why is she still rapping, ew, why is he still rapping? Like, that's the mind of these young youths, and it's because of what these artists are teaching them. Probably, people like the Nicki Minaj's, if they didn't come in disrespectful, busting shots at friggin' veterans who fucking gave them a friggin' pass, then probably these kids they wouldn't react like that to people, to legends. Girls going off about, why is this person what? It's because of what these artists today are putting in their heads. If they were to just be more humble and educate the kids about the people who inspired them rather than bashing them, I think these kids would have more sense and would know more classic artists. That's what I'm fucking trying to say. Like, I just find that it's so rude, it's disrespectful, and it's stupid, because we all know that at the end of the day, you look up to that person, and so I'm not trying to take anything from Nicki, because she does whatever she does, whatever. I'm not trying to. I don't hate her. I'm not trying to hate on her, or and that's the other thing. If you try to point out a wrong in someone, they automatically say that you're hating. Okay, whatever. Call me a hater, whatever. But I notice how that's just what I observed from her. She's very disrespectful. She keeps shading Kim about how she's old, and come on, okay. Lil' Kim started her career at 17 years old. She was a millionaire in her teenage years. You're just putting out a second album, and you're nearly 30 years old. Okay, do the math. In 10 years, how old are you going to be? So, or even 5 more years, you're going to be 35 in 5 more years. So, are you gonna be old? In 5 more years, you're gonna be Kim's age. So, and they're not even that far apart in age either. So, I don't know what this whole old thing is coming from. Like, so what are you gonna do then? And especially, I know Lil' Kim, she lasted at least about 15 years in the game strong. So, in 15 years, how old are you gonna be? Do the freaking math. You're gonna be like 40 freaking something years old. Like within 15 years. So, would you want new artists coming in bashing you and disrespecting you because of your age? Like, okay, are you not allowed to grow up? Are you not allowed to age? Like, what's the problem? It's just mad disrespectful. Like, it's stupid. It's dumb. It's a waste of time. Like, and like, my whole thing is that just ever since from me, like, just what I observed, I don't know about you guys, I'm not saying for you guys to agree with me, but I just feel like ever since she did that, I just feel like every artist is following her. Like, every new artist is following that trend to disrespect that person who paved the way for them. And today, Rod Digga, she must have put out a track dissing Tyler, the Creator, because Tyler came at her in a song and she responded. And then, of course, on Twitter, you have the young fans, like I expected. Oh, who's Rod Digga? Yo, she's irrelevant. Oh, she's just doing it. Oh, she never made a track in this many years. It doesn't matter how long she never made a track or whatever. Her whole point is, don't disrespect me. Like, you don't, in the end of the song, she said, yo, you don't even have to like me. You don't even got to listen to my music. But the one thing that you will do is respect me. That's all they ask for, is respect. The same thing with Kim. I feel like the whole thing with her and Nicki, I just feel like she was just saying, respect me, pay homage to me, and that's it. And do it properly. Don't just be like, okay, I'm going to do it because she's telling me to do it. Don't pretend to pay homage and then you're still busting shots at somebody or whatever. That's mad fucking corny. It's corny. You're a new artist. Like, I just feel like you have so many more years to go. Stop claiming that you're a queen or that you're a king because you have a couple of hot tracks, and then because they have a couple of hot tracks and they feel like they have the right to disrespect people, to disrespect legends who fucking, it's corny to me. It's corny. Come back to me in 10 years and then fucking talk all that shit. Right now, it's all talk to me. It's all talk. You can disrespect anyone. You can call them old, washed, irrelevant, or whatever you want to call them. But we'll see how relevant your ass will be in 10 years. Just because you have a buzz for about 1 or 2 years. Okay, well, we'll see how long that buzz lasts. It's not going to last forever. I've seen artists, they come and go. They come and they go. And you're lucky enough if you even last. That's why I give props, and that's why I respect my veterans so much, my legends of hip-hop. Oh my lord, like, if I had, I would take it off to you right now. Like, I have so much respect for you guys. You guys done a lot for the industry. Fuck what these new artists have to say. And I feel like if they come at you, come back at them. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. because regardless they're gonna kiss ass anyway. Because today how it is, if you're popular, they're gonna kiss your ass and they're gonna make the other person out to be the villain because they haven't made a record in years. Okay, so the person's allowed to diss them, basically, is what they're trying to say, and they're allowed to be disrespectful. And that's the other thing too. People don't take the time to say, okay, what you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't be disrespecting this person because they did this for you. Nowadays, it's, oh, well, who cares? She's irrelevant or he's irrelevant. Oh, it's okay. It's not okay. When was it okay to diss somebody who fucking paved the way for you? Like, I just don't understand this generation. I'm sickened by it. I'm so angry that I'm a part of this fucking generation. It's a fucking mess. Yeah, don't count me in this, because it's a hot motherfucking mess. Like, don't even count me in it. Like, I just find that they are so damn disrespectful, and I want to have nothing to do with it. I want to have nothing to do with it. Like, they should feel ashamed, and it's just fucking corny. Like, and Tyler, why are you dissing Rodiga? Like, why? Why are you dissing a female even? And, like, it's so dumb. Why? Why do you guys do this to yourselves? And then this young damn crowd, like, only if they were to freaking, like, take the fucking breast milk and wipe off their damn lips and wake the fuck up and see the real picture. Stop defending these fucking new artists, saying that, oh, because they're popular and they're making more money. Like that. Like, these legends haven't been there, done that. Like, and a lot of people, they like to brag, oh, well, this person's on Billboard and all that. Okay, well, these legends that you're dissing, that you're calling old, and, you know, they're not at the Super Bowl and they're not here. They've been there, done that. They've been at the Grammys already. I'm sure they collected some Grammys. They've collected a lot of awards. They've been there before. They're moguls. They're now business women and men. They've been there, done that. They sold millions worldwide already. They've done that already. Why are you comparing a fucking new artist with a fucking veteran? That new artist is in their prime. Okay, so because they're in their prime, so of course that will include them being at award shows and all that. Of course they're going to be there. Why are you comparing a veteran to a new artist? They've all have been there before. And that new artist they're sticking up for, they're going to come to a point where they're not going to be at award shows anymore either. Why? Because they bowed out. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a fucking veteran. You're not making music anymore because you bowed out and you've done your time already. Who cares? It doesn't take anything away from them. It doesn't mean that they're garbage because they're not at the Grammys. Who fucking cares? And half of these freaking new artists who's bragging about being on Billboard and about their album sales, the material itself on your album is garbage. It's garbage anyway. So what are you really bragging about? I feel like if your album is trash, don't brag about the record sales. You know that your ass is fucking #1 on, you know, billboards is because you have catchy ass lyrics, you have a dumbass young fucking fan base that don't know shit about hip hop, and you know that you and I both fucking know that. So don't front about record sales, don't front about fucking bill. Yeah, success is success, claps to you, hooray, hooray, whatever, clap, clap, who fucking cares? Because we all know this new generation, it's stupid. You just have to make a catchy ass song, be a carbon copy of somebody, you know, be disrespectful to a fucking legend, you know, get some points off of that by the young crowd, and then you're good to go. Your albums will fucking spring, you're gonna sell. And a lot of people like to say, oh, well, it's harder to sell records now because we're in a digital era and people download stuff. Nuh-uh, honey. Well, you know what? Music has been being leaked since back when, before too. Believe it or not, back then, in the 90s, music been leaking before. Except probably not the computer, but trust me. You know, people selling them illegally and it being leaked, like, trust me, it's been happening. The only difference is now it's on the computer. Woohoo, big difference. And on top of that, it's not even about the digital era. It's the fact that if you can just, like I said, just be a carbon copy of somebody, or make catchy ass lyrics or beats, then you will be good to go. People will buy your album because of one song they heard that they liked or whatever. People are going to buy them. Albums still sell. They sell. Whether you like it or not, albums still sell. And it's not because of the digital, like, it has nothing to do with that. Albums are going to sell regardless. And people are going to buy them for stupid reasons regardless. So, you know, to me, like, whatever, success is success and it's great. But I just feel like today, anyone could freaking sell. Anyone could be #1. Like, Anyone can have the #1 hip hop album, and it's not even a damn hip hop album. It can be a damn pop, watered down, wannabe hip hop album, and it will be #1 on rap charts. Like, my example of how stupid it is today and all that. But I mean, I don't know. But just to go back on topic, like, don't come in disrespectful. Just recognize who got you to where you're at now, and I don't know. It's just like getting to me a lot, and because I'm very old school. Like, I don't own nothing new on my freaking MP3. Like, it's all like, because I just like the old school sound better. It's like, I'm a hip hop head as well. Like, I'm a true hip hop fan. So when I see new artists coming in disrespecting, and these young fans co-signing all the disrespect, it's like, #1, do you even know anything? Do you even know your history of hip hop? Shut up, exactly. Just be quiet, sit down somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? And these artists, you should know better. It's mad fucking corny. What are you doing? Sit the fuck down. Stop titling yourself a damn queen. You're not no queen yet. Who the fuck are you to freaking crown yourself queen or whatever when you're not even like 5 years in the industry? Like I said, come back to me in 10 years and we'll see where you're at then. Until then, be humble, shut the hell up, and just pay homage and be respectful. And if you don't want to do that, then keep it to yourself. Stop busting shots at fucking people who paved the way for you. Stop being dumbasses and just respect them. Respect them. That's all I'm trying to say. Be humble, pay homage, and whatever. I'm out. And that's all I gotta say. So leave your comments. I know this video was damn long, but I just had a lot to say. But hats off to all my legends and all that. Keep doing you, keep grinding and all that. And to the new artists, come up, be humble. Stop fucking throwing shots at people. Be humble, man. Be humble. Be humble. Be respectful to your fellow legends, alright? That's all I'm gonna say. Goodbye.